All right. This film. Man, there's a lot to digest with this film. Okay? First of all, let me see if I'm pretty sure I did. Come on. Okay. Wild Things tells the story of Sam Lombardo, who is accused of raping two teenage girls. This is a movie, YouTube. It's a movie. But he gets off because it turns out the girls were lying on the part of one Kelly, played by Denise Richards. And then you have Detective Duquette, played by Kevin Bacon, who is not convinced that everything is so, open and shut, and it all leads to some very confusing angles. So, yeah, we have Sam Lombardo. He's a very respected guidance counselor at this high school. And we see that he's, got a relationship with his students. There's one girl in particularly. Now, I should mention, both of these girls are 18 years old in this movie. And they're over 18 years old. Denise Richards and Neve Campbell, they're both in their 20s at this time. But the characters were 18 years old. They mentioned that in the film. But that doesn't matter with rape. But it never actually happened. But there are sex scenes in this film. But, so yeah, he's a respected guidance counselor. And then one day we see that Kelly and her friend volunteered to wash Mr. Lombardo's car at his house. She, shushes her friend away, and then we see that she's wet, and the next day she's freaking out saying that he raped her. And then all of a sudden now, Neve Campbell's character, Susie, is also saying the same thing. They go to trial, and you have this Detective Duquette, played by Kevin Bacon. And he's on the case. But when they get to court, it's found out, thanks to Sam's hotshot lawyer, played by Bill Murray, that it was a scam. Because of something that was made sense with Susie, because she says that Sam did that to her at one point, but then a month later she calls him for help, but he was unavailable. Yeah, that doesn't fit, right? So she admits that she and Kelly lied to get back at Sam for not helping her out, and then for him sleeping with Kelly's mom. But that's the first twist. They lied. But then we get the second twist. Everything gets said and done. He goes back to his hotel room, because apparently he's not living in his house anymore. I don't know. Goes back to his hotel room, and Kelly is there, and all of a sudden, Susie is there, and it turns out they're all in on it together, and we have the scene. So I had seen part of this movie before. I've never gotten past the threesome scene, and you know why? Because I was a teenager, and yeah, you're a teenager, you don't care about anything else in the film. Although I did not know there was another lesbian scene after this, or I would have kept watching. This is the first time I've actually watched it all the way through as an adult. I've had this in my possession for years, but I never sat down and actually watched the entire thing. So, yeah, that scene. Yeah. This movie is just there's so much going on in this movie. So, yes, we have this sex scene, and then, the next couple scenes, like the scene before this, she gets all nuts in court and says she hates him. Now, I knew that they were all in on it before this, but something made me think, he's still leaving the school, and I'm like, wait, he was found innocent. Why is he still getting fired? I understand that a thing like that is not easy to get over, but he is found innocent. Now, the plot gets more convoluted, but in that sense, he's found innocent. He should not be punished for anything because he didn't actually do anything. It was a lie. But then, the conversation he has with the guy, he's like, you see why I need to leave? And I'm like, oh, so he did this himself. Okay. But once we find out that all three were together, he's got the money. He doesn't need the job anymore, right? And it gets more convoluted. They decide that Susie's not worth keeping in, so she is apparently killed by Sam. That leaves him and Kelly. This whole time, Duquette is on the case because he does not believe that everything is done. He does not believe that that there was an open shut case. He believes there's something else going on here, especially when Susie disappears. I don't know who you are, man. Especially when Susie disappears, he's on the case trying to figure it out. Now, this leads him to, can you go away, please? Phone call. I need to see my face. Come on. Thank you. Someone call in the middle of this. But, so this leads him back to Kelly's house, where he confronts her, and he goes in, and all we hear is 3 gunshots. And we'll talk about the 3 gunshots later, because something doesn't add up here. Alright? So, the 3 gunshots. We then find out that when he went in, she had a gun, and she shot him once in the shoulder, and he fired 2 shots, which killed her. So now she's dead. Alright. Well, then it's found out that Sam and Duquette were in on it together, and that it was a setup from the beginning. Although stuff during the credits kind of doesn't make sense, but yeah, they were in on it. And ladies, you get to see full frontal Kevin Bacon. You get to see Kevin's bacon if that's what you want to see. I don't. I did not need to see Kevin's bacon. Okay, that's not something I wanted to see. This is the unrated version, by the way. I thought that meant more titties, but apparently it means you get to see Kevin's bacon. No, thank you. But yeah, they were in on it together, apparently. And that makes no fucking sense, because we see Duquette doing things when he is alone that doesn't work, because he is looking up stuff, he is working on the case when he is alone. There's no one else there for him to act to like he's doing this. He is alone during certain parts when he's doing the investigation. It makes no sense that he's a part of this because of what we see in when he's by himself. It's from his point of view. It's like the Gallows Part 2, when the guy that we end up finding out was in on it, was looking up stuff he should have already known about. This does not make sense. Seeing from his point of view, he's still going through the case. He should already know what's going on because he's in on it. And they only do that to throw the audience off, but it doesn't make any sense. So now Kelly's dead, and so they take the boat out, and it's revealed that Susie's still alive, albeit with a very bad blonde short hair wig. And they kill him, and then Susie poisons Sam, and she's got the money for herself, and they put the plot things together because the other cop, Duquette's partner, is out investigating. We find out that Susie did know how to sail a boat, even though she said she didn't. But she does, and we find out, and this was where I was done. We find out that Sandra, that being Kelly's mom, got pregnant and was left in the swamp. She delivered the baby, then left. No. Wait. It was Sandra's mother, I think, is what it was. Yeah, it was Sandra's mother got pregnant and left the baby in the swamp, and that baby was Susie. So Susie is Sandra, that's Kelly's mom's sister, which makes Kelly her niece. What? I mean, that's happened. You know, people, that can happen. But they're the same age. They're the same fucking age. How does that is too big of a coincidence. Yeah, they throw that fact at you towards the end of the film, and you're just, I heard that. I'm sitting there, I'm ready to go because the movie's almost over, and they're like, that makes Kelly her niece, and I'm like, what? How? Oh yeah. And that wasn't enough. We get they go to the credits, and during the credits, I thought they were deleted scenes, but they're actually showing us what happened. I guess there's a couple scenes that don't really make any sense that needed, but yeah, they show us what happened. Susie confronts him about the pictures. Like, it's shown that Kelly met with him in a bar, and that's how that started. But then Susie comes to him and shows that he has pictures of them having sex, and him and Kelly having sex, and then it's him and Susie outside of a bar, and they see Duquette go in, so Sam goes in to negotiate a deal with him. And then we cut to Susie enjoying a drink in her wig, to which the lawyer, played by Bill Murray, comes up, calls her Miss Toller, which I don't think you should. She's hiding out. She's supposed to be dead. Oh, there's also another scene where we see pulling her teeth out. No, she's got all her teeth, so that makes no sense, but yeah, because the whole thing was they found her teeth and some blood, and it's her blood and it's her teeth, whatever. But yeah, she gets all the money, and the lawyer gets his part, and he says, be good, and the movie ends, and I'm just sitting there going, what the hell did I just watch? Just started out good. You know, I was expecting, like, something to happen. Okay, when I was watching this, I'm thinking, okay, once Susie died, I'm like, okay, either she's gonna kill him, or she's gonna set it up to where Duquette makes the killing shot, because he's somehow still thinking Sam's behind it, and then she's gonna get away scot-free, and she'll get the money because she knows the account, because that's what she wanted. She wanted her trust. That's what it was about. But no, it goes in such weird ways, and I'm just so confused. Ultimately, it puts me in the middle of the road with this film. I thought I was going to like it more, but it's a middle of the road movie for me. I just can't. I don't know. It's not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's just the middle of the road. Bar from the scenes with the nudity, except for Kevin's bacon, but the female nudity, I should say, which, is mostly Denise Richards, I guess. Nev Campbell didn't want to do that. That's fine. That's fine. You don't have to. But yeah, it's the middle of the road for me, I have to say. So, what are your thoughts on Wild Things? Let me know in the comments below. Let's pick out our next movie, shall we? Blu-ray, right? Yes. So we have
Eh.
Spawn. I didn't expect to do that this soon, but there we go. That'll be the next one. So make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.